Woo! Imagine creating a game so simple it could be made in a weekend. Just a pixelated bird that flaps through a series of pipes. Imagine that game making $50,000 a day. And then, at the very height of its popularity, the creator just takes it away. Deletes it. Gone. No lawsuits, just poof. And you may have heard some rumors on why he deleted it, but it's a little weirder than you think. So let's go back to 2013. Dong Nguyen was a quiet, low-profile game developer, and he was working solo in his apartment. He was no hotshot at some massive AAA gaming studio, and he wasn't looking to revolutionize the gaming industry. He just wanted to make simple mobile games people could pick up for a minute and then put back down, but still provide them a reason to keep playing. You know, like a game you could enjoy while having a coffee break or when you're on the toilet. And his idea was so simple. Make a game that's incredibly easy to just pick up and play, but incredibly hard to master. And a game where right before you'd put it down, you might think, just one more try. Enter Flappy Bird. Dong actually coded this game in just a few days. And if you've seen it, you know it's basic pixelated graphics and an obvious throwback to NES era gaming. It was painfully simple. You tap the damn screen to keep the little bird going through the pipes. You know what I'm talking about if you've played it. And those pipes, well, they look suspiciously like they were ripped from Super Mario Bros. And every time you mistapped, that little bird would just nosedive straight down and it was game over. And you would have to start all over. The game wasn't easy. I mean, tapping to keep them airborne sounds simple, but the pipes would have different gaps. So you'd have to tap it just right to make sure you could clear the pipe and also time the next jump appropriately. It was really hard. And there were no second chances, no checkpoints, no mercy. It was like a little NES style Dark Souls, Flappy Souls, or something like that. So this game that made millions of dollars launched in March of 2013. But as most apps, it was completely dead on arrival. We're talking only a few downloads, if any, and absolutely zero fanfare. It was just another game on the App Store. But then something really bizarre happened. A few months later, it just kind of blew up. And to this day, no one's exactly sure why. Dong himself couldn't explain it. But the leading theory, Twitch streamers and YouTubers stumbled across this game. These streamers stumbled across Flappy Bird, and they figured out it was perfect for one thing: rage content. It was brutally simple, unfairly hard, and watching people lose their freaking minds trying to play this game was YouTube gold. And suddenly the game took off. Everyone was sharing their high scores, competing against their friends. Memes were everywhere. Back before Twitter was the complete dumpster fire it is today, people used to tweet on there saying things like, "Flappy Bird is ruining my life and I just can't stop playing it." It became this cultural inside joke. So by January 2014, Flappy Bird had skyrocketed to the top of the App Store. But not just the App Store, also Google Play charts. And remember, this was a completely free game. No in-app purchases, no hidden fees. But of course, it had one genius moneymaker: ads. Like YouTube. Every single time you died, and trust me, you died a lot, a little ad would pop up. And because the game was so infuriatingly difficult, people racked up deaths fast. Now, multiply that by 1 million players, and suddenly, Dong Nguyen was making $50,000 a day. That's roughly $1.5 million a month from a free app built in less than a week. But then, the internet did what it does best. It turned on him. People started to accuse Dong of copying assets from Nintendo. And let's be honest, those green pipes, those are straight out of Mario. Parents who didn't know how to parent complained that the game was just too addictive for their children. They said their kids were obsessed, playing for hours. Here's a little secret: take the phone away. But I guess if you wanted to, you didn't even get the chance to, because these kids were getting so angry they were smashing their phones. And poor Dong, well, he began receiving hate mail, even death threats, over Flappy Bird. People were blaming him for their frustration with it. It's absolutely absurd, but yes, people did this. I guess it's not too surprising, but they were obsessed, they were feral, and they hated him for their inability to just put the game down. And then, on February 8th, 2014, Dong Nguyen tweeted something that would send the internet into a frenzy. Dong said, "I am so sorry, Flappy Bird users. 22 hours from now, I will take Flappy Bird down. I cannot take this anymore." And then the very people who hated him for their own inability to put the damn game down lost their freaking minds. The internet exploded with this. Do you remember this? Some, of course, thought it was a joke. How could something so highly successful just be taken away? Why would the creator shut this down when he's filthy stinking rich? It didn't make any sense to people. So, of course, rumors of Nintendo sending a cease and desist letter to him or something like that, well, that started to circulate. And let's be honest, Nintendo is known to do that. They believed it was over the Mario pipes, which just sounds ridiculous, but they do look very similar to to Mario. And of course, as with everything, the conspiracy theorists offered their take on it. They believed that Flappy Bird was a psyop, a psychological experiment. But no, Dong, he wasn't kidding. Exactly 22 hours later, he took it down. Flappy Bird was gone, vanished from the app stores, just like that. And that's when the real chaos began. Economies tanked, China declared war on the United States. I'm just kidding, but it was pretty crazy. And people who still had Flappy Bird installed on their phones realized they were sitting on a fortune. eBay listings started popping up. Phones with Flappy Bird installed were being auctioned off for thousands of dollars. One listing even went for $100,000. But it is unclear if anyone actually paid that $100,000. But then after its disappearance, clone apps flooded the market. Developers scrambled to release knockoffs with names like Splashy Fish and the shameless Flappy Wings. And they were hoping to cash in on this craze, but honestly, none of them hit the same. People wanted Flappy Bird, not some knockoff. I told you we were going to talk about why Dong really deleted this thing. And it wasn't legal pressure. Nintendo even confirmed they never sent him a cease and desist letter. And it was definitely not a publicity stunt. If anything, it just cost him millions of dollars. So why did he do it? Well, Dong pulled the game because he said it had become too addictive. He described seeing players who were losing sleep, and in his own words, neglecting real life. And he felt guilty about that. I think it was the right thing to do. I mean, I would still love to play some Flappy Bird, but if I was in his shoes, I think it was the right call. And it's just so interesting because
Hey, are you Chef's nephew? You got 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's me. Why?
I've got to close up for tonight.
Oh, okay, yeah, I won't be much longer.
Good. And tell your deadbeat roommates to stay away from here.
So Dong Nguyen, the quiet indie dev, felt bad that his game got too successful, and he couldn't cope with everything that was being thrown at him. And I don't know if I could either. It's kind of wild that one of the biggest games of all time was sparked by a small indie dev. He was just a quiet guy who wanted to make a fun little game, and when it got too successful, he walked away. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. My name's Dandy Andy. If you'd like this content, please make sure to like and subscribe. It would help me out a lot. I am a little infrequent on the postings, so it's kind of a gamble on if you're going to see anything or not, but if you want to be along for the journey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join along. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day, night, year, week, whatever. Just have a good one. Peace. Oh man, oh shit. I think I'm having a heart attack.
No, kid, you're good. It was just those energy drinks. Breathe in.
Okay.
Breathe in 4, hold for 4, out for 4.
Okay.
They taught us that in the Wang Dang Delta.
You're in the Wang Dang Delta?
How do you think I know your uncle?
Oh wow, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, and maybe you should quit smoking too.
Yeah, I know. I've been meaning to.
Otherwise, you're going to end up sounding like me.